All right, friends, for this video, you're going to be pausing and stopping this video as we go along. So for this one, it says there are 48 students on bus A and 43 students on bus B. How many students are on both buses? So I would like you guys to try this one out first by yourself. So go ahead and pause the video and try it out first. Alrighty, now that you guys have tried it out, I want you to check over some of your work. So some different things that you guys may have tried is you would have 48 students on bus A and 43 students on bus B. We need to figure out how many students are on both buses. So we know we need to add those two together because it's asking for how many are on both buses. So to find our answer for this, some different strategies. One strategy could have been that you added your tens first. So remember, this is our ones column and this is our tens column. So if you ever need to practice writing that out, you can always put a ones and tens up in that corner to help remind you. But we're going to add our tens first. So our tens is this second column. So we have 4 tens. 4 tens is the same thing as saying 40 because it's in the tens column. And we have 10, 20, 30, 40. So we have 40 plus, we're going to take our tens from this one. It's another 4, so that means we have another 4 tens, which is 40. And 40 plus 40, I can just add my tens together, and I have 8. And the beauty about this is I can just add a 0. So I have 80. Not finished yet. I'm going to add my ones now. So I'm going to go to my ones. My ones is in this column. So I have 8 ones here plus 3 ones here. 8 plus 3 equals 11. So now I have 2 new numbers. It's a little bit easier to solve now because I have a common group of 10. So I have 80. So I have 8 in my tens. So 8 tens is equal to 80 plus how many tens do I have here? I'm going to go to my tens column. I have 1 10. So 80 plus 10 equals 90. And then I'm just going to add how many ones I have. I have no ones here, but I have 1 1 there. So I'm going to do 90 plus 1 equals 91. Boom. Oh, I guess I should circle this one. So 91. Some of you guys may have skipped this step here and just added 80 plus 11 and got 91. So that is a strategy that we are looking towards to solving, where we solve with our tens first and then our ones second. Alrighty, we're going to look at a couple different strategies that you guys may have used. So on this one, some of you guys may have drew a picture. Remember, we're still working with that same problem. We're just looking at additional strategies. So you can solve this problem by doing a quick drawing photo. So show each number with a quick drawing. It's easier to add with one number that has no ones. So regroup to make 10. So how many tens do we have? We have 4 tens, so they did 4 sticks. They have 8 ones, so they did 8 dots. They have 4 tens here. They did 4 sticks. And then 3 ones. They have 3 dots. So they're saying that if you move 2 of these dots over, you have just made a group of 10. So there's your group of 10. If you want to check it, you can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, it's a group of 10. So now they have 1, 2, 3, 4, and that equals 5. So now they have 5 groups of 10. And how many ones do they have left over? They have 1 group of 10. So that equals 51. Oop, sorry, I skipped one. I had my 5 10s there, and then I forgot to add these group of 10 right here. So then I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So 50 plus 40 equals 90. And then I add my 1. Oh my goodness, Miss Luby skipped a step. So what happens sometimes, you skip steps and you're like, that doesn't look right. So 90 plus how many 1s do I have? I have 1 left over, and I get 91. So you could have done your picture it strategy. Another one is you can use an open number line. This one's a little bit trickier, but it is an option for you to use. So for an open number line, you can start with 48. You know you have to add 2 to make 50. We're going to, or add 2 to go to the next 10. It says to add 40, count on by 10s from 50. So 60, 70, 80, 90, and then add 1 more. So it's saying that if we're adding 40 more, we're just going to jump by 10s 4 times. So 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. They got to 90, and then they knew they had 1 left over. So then they got to 91. This one's a harder strategy to work with, but if it was one that you're like, I want to challenge myself, or it makes sense to you, go ahead and use that one. We're going to take a look at the next page with the connect it. It's referring to questions from the picture it strategy. So that's the strategy right over here that we used. So we're going to be looking at that one over here. So it says on number 1, why do you add 48 to 2? Why do we add 2 to 48? We add 2 to 48 to make 10. To make a 10. So when we make a 10, we're rounding to the nearest 10. So 48, if we add 2 more, that would mean we would have 49, 50. We would have 50. 50, we have found that if it equals a 10, it's a lot easier to add. So it says, what does this drawing show? Fill in the blanks. So how many did we have to add to 48 to get 50? We added 2. And then if we added 2 here, we would have 50. How many do we need to take away to get 41? We would take away 2, because if we're adding 2 to this one, that means we're taking 2 away. So then we're going to do 50 plus 41. We're going to add our 10s together. So we have 5 and 4, and that equals 9. We're going to add our 1s together, 0 and 1, and that equals 1. So we still get 91. We're going to look at that model it. And that was this tricky number line one. We're going to go through that one. So it says, what number should you get if you add all the jumps, and why? So if we add all the jumps together, so our first jump we had 2, so I'm going to write 2 down. They're just asking us if we add all these jumps together, how many would we get? So 2 plus 40 plus 1. So if we add all of these together, I'm going to keep my 40 over here. 2 plus 1 is 3. So 40 plus 3 equals 43. So it says, what number should you get if you add all the jumps, and why? You should get 43, because that is the number you are adding to 48. So remember up here, or for our original problem, I'll go back to that one in a second. We have 48 students and 43 students. We should be adding 43 because that is the number we're adding to 48. We're working with that try it problem still. So remember how on the past two lessons we've been working with, we said, why are we adding 3 numbers when we could just be adding 43? Well, sometimes it's easier to add 2, then add 40, then add 3. So it says, where's the answer on this open number line? So it's asking us, where do we solve our answer? Well, if we start at 48 and we make 43 jumps, our answer would be at the end of our number line. So where is this answer on the open number line? The answer is on the number you land on after the last jump. So friends, remember, if at any time it's going too fast for you or you need to go back and listen to it again, pause it, rewind, all those things. For this one, you guys are going to write what you like. So when we're going back to the try it, do you like that picture model where we use the picture, or do you like the number line? Or a different strategy we've talked in the past. So your sentence starters would say, I like the blank strategy because. Tell me why you like it. This will help me figure out where you guys are at. So you're going to use that as your sentence starter. Alrighty, now we're going to do some practice problems. It says Sam drives 39 miles north. How many miles north? 39. Then he drives 28 miles east. How far does she drive all together? So if I'm finding all together, that means I'm adding these numbers. So I have 39 plus 28. I have 39 plus 28. So for this one, I am going to start with adding my tens together. So if I start with my tens, there's my tens digits. So I'm going to do 30 plus 20. And I know 3 plus 2 equals 5. And I put a 0 behind because whenever there's a 0 back there, I know 0 plus 0 equals 0. Now I'm going to add my ones. So I have my ones, which is 9 and 8. So now I'm going to do 9 plus 8. I'm going to lock in 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I have 17. Now I have a new problem. I'm going to take my tens, so I have my 5, which 5 tens equals 50, plus 1 10, which equals 10, and I get 60. And then how many ones do I have left over? I have 7 ones. So my final number is 67. She drives 67 miles altogether. All right, for our next one, remember you can pause if you need to. You can go back to different steps and have me repeat it. Our next one is find 23 plus 37. I'm going to do the same procedure. I'm going to start with my tens. I have 2 tens, which means 2 tens equals 20, plus 3 tens, which equals 30. So 20 plus 30, I'm going to do 2 plus 3, and that equals 5. So I get 50 again because 0 plus 0 equals 0. I'm going to add my ones, which is a 3 and a 7. So I'm going to do 3 plus 7. 3 plus 7 equals 10. So this one is 50 plus 10 equals 60 because 5 plus 1 equals 6. And then I just add my ones, 0 plus 0, 0. I get to the point now when I'm just adding these ones together, I don't even have to think about 0 plus 0 equals 0. I just know it's an automatic 0. So that means that my final answer is 60. So right here it says, explain how the addition problem 17 plus 48 could be solved by adding 20 plus 45. So it's saying that they started with this problem and they ended up solving it to equal this one. So how did they get from here to here? Well, it looks like they made a 10. So if they added 3 to 17, because they did 7 plus 3 equals 10. So if I have another one, so if they add 3 to 17, it equals 20. So that's how they got 20. They added 3 to 17, and they added 3 to 17 to make it an easier number to solve. We have found that when we work with groups of 10, it's a lot easier to solve. So if we add 3 to 20, we had to get those 3 from somewhere, right? So they went ahead and they just took 3 away from this 48. So we took 3 of those 3 to 48. We plus 3 over there. So if we took 3 away, that means we're just going to take 3 away from 48. So I'm going to say you have to also take 3 away from 48. That leaves us with 45. So if I took 3 away from 48, I would get, If I took 3 away from 48, I would get 45. So friends, that was our lesson for today. What I want you to do is, if you are in an independent group, you have the option of trying to complete this first by yourself. This is a trickier lesson, friends. So I'm going to suggest that even if you try this out by yourself, watch my next video to see if you got these correct, because this is a hard lesson. You guys are doing such a good job, and if you're frustrated, you can always take a breath, go back and just follow along with me. Remember, if I'm ever going too fast, pause my video and we can start new again. Alrighty, let's get started on our work. We're going to do the practice problems on page 155 and 156. Okay, so I'm just going to actually continue this video on for you to continue working. All right, so if you need a little bit of a wiggle break, you can pause this video, go take a break, and then come back. And here we go. Okay, so number 1, it says, look at the quick drawing. Then fill in the blanks. So if I look at this quick drawing, it's asking us how many 10s do I have? So I have 1 here, 1 here. And it looks that they move some 1s over to make a 10. So this is now a group of 10. So now I have 1, 2, 3. If I have 3 10s, that's the same thing as saying 30. Because remember, 10, 20, 30, 3 10s. And then it's asking us what this number is. So how many 10s do we have over here? We have 1 10. And how many 1s? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 1s. So we have 30 plus 15. If we did 30 plus 15, I can stack it if I want. And I can do 0 plus 5 equals 5. And 3 plus 1 equals 4. Equals 45. Or you can do 30 plus 10, using those 10s again, equal 40. And then how many ones do we have left over? 40 plus 5 equals 45. Either strategy works. This one goes a little bit quicker, but if you're struggling with setting up your numbers correctly, remember how we have our 10s and our 1s chart? So if you don't line up your numbers correctly, it will be very hard to do this. So if this little chart that I have helps you out, where you can write 3 10s, 0 zeros, 0 1s, 1 10, 5 1s, and you can add it that way, I am fine with that. All right, let's go on to our next problem. 57 is the same thing as blank plus blank. So it looks like they're trying to make this number, what's it closest to? What's our closest 10 to 57? That's really close to 60. It's not quite 60 yet, but they're saying, let's make this 60 because it's super close, and we have to find out this number. So first we need to figure out how many do we have to add to 57 to get 60. Well, I can look at my ones and I can say, okay, I need to make a group of 10 because this 10 says 5 right now and I want it to say 6. So I need to add a group of 10. So 7 plus what equals 10? 3. 7, 8, 9, 10. So you just added another 10, which would equal 60. Or, to check it, you can say 57, 58, 59, 60. So if we added 3, if we took 3 from here and we added 3 there, we have to take 3 away from 14. So if we took 3 away from 14, you're going to do 14 minus 3. So 13, or 14, 13, 12, 11. So that's the same thing as saying 60 plus 11. Remember, friends, we're just trying to make it an easier problem for us to solve. It looks like they want us to use a specific strategy here. It's saying fill in the missing numbers in the open number line, then find 57 plus 14. It looks like we're saying 57 plus 3. Remember, we added 57 plus 3. What did that equal? When we added 3, it went to 60. If we jump 10 more, 60, and we're adding another 10. So if we add another 10 to 60, we're going to get 70, because we're just taking our 6 plus 1 equals 7. And then it's saying if we do one more jump, what are we going to end at? So 70 plus 1 equals 71. So our final answer is 71. Right here, it says Mia has 49 red beads and 63 yellow beads. How many beads does Mia have in all? Show your work. So, if we were to do this, I would think an easy problem is 49 is super, super close to another 10. What 10 is 49 super close to? It is super close to 50. I know if I add 1 to 9, it would make a 10. And it would make me add one more 10 to here. So I would say I could do, here, let me write that out for you. So if I do 49 plus 1 equals 50. So I know if I add one more to 49, I'm going to get 50. That's a lot easier of a problem to work with. If I took 1, if I added 1 to here, that means I have to take 1 away from here. So then I'm going to do 36 minus 1 because I stole it to make 49 reach 50. So 36 minus 1, I have 35. Now I can add these two together. Well, I can do it two ways. I can do 50 plus 35. If I line it up correctly, see how all my numbers are stacked really pretty. If you did that ones chart, it might look like this, your tens and ones. You're going to start with your ones in this procedure. So 0 plus 5 equals 5, and 5 plus 3 equals 8. Or you can do 50, and we're going to add our tens, plus 30 equals 80. And then we're going to do 80 plus how many ones are left? 5, and we get 85. So no matter what, we get that problem. So it depends if you like stacking it like this or if you like writing it out. Either one works. All right, the equation below shows a sum of 51. Write 3 different equations with the sum of 51. So it's asking us to think critically. They gave us 1. 22 plus 29 equals 51. What about if I did 23 plus what equals 51? We want them to all equal 51. So if I added 1 here, I'm taking 1 away here. So if I added 1, I'm taking away from 29, which would be 28 equals 51. Let's do 22, 23, 24. So if I added 1 to get to 20, from 23 to get to 24, I'm going to take away 1 from here. So if I took away 1, I'd have 27 equals 51. I'm going to keep on going. I did 24, so let's see 25. If I added 1 to 25, then I'm going to take 1 away here. I'm going to get 26 equals 51. And you can just keep on going with that pattern. See how when we added 1, we have to take away. We added 1 to get 24, we had to take away. We added 1, we have to take away. So it's that procedure of just practicing getting that. If you want to keep going and wow me with even more, go for it. But that wraps up our lesson for today. Way to stick with it, friends.